Hello everyone, hope all of you are fine and doing well. As in the last PPT, we have discussed about transportation in plants, where we have studied about transportation of material throughout plants body. But here today we will be discussing about transportation in animals, that how transportation of different substances, different materials takes place within an animal's body. Fine. So let us start with the circulatory system in animals. In smaller organisms, diffusion and osmosis help in the transportation of substances. It is not the case in large organisms. Fine. As the organisms grows bigger, the processes become more and more complex, and thus there is a need for more structured system for the transportation of various substances. Fine. So here in this chapter we have to discuss about your transportation in humans, means circulatory system in humans. So circulatory system in humans is in humans, transportation of different substances, it is mainly carried out with the help of blood. Fine. So let us start with the topic here, human circulatory system. So human circulatory system, it is mainly composed of three main components. These are blood vessels and heart. So we have to discuss about all these components one by one. So firstly we will talk about your blood. So blood brings, what is the function of blood? What is blood? So blood is a red colored pigment basically which circulates in our body, and it is red because of the presence of red color pigment. And you can see here I have written blood brings, what is the function of blood? Blood brings oxygen and nutrients to all the parts of the body so they can keep working. Blood carries carbon dioxide and other waste to the lungs, kidneys and digestive system to be removed from the body. Blood also fights infections and carries hormones around the body. Fine. So there are three main components of blood. They are plasma, blood cells and platelets. So here in this picture you can see blood vessels, white blood cells, plasma, platelets, red blood cells. So let us discuss about plasma first. So plasma is a liquid part of the blood and makes up about 60% of blood's volume. So plasma is mainly made from water but also contains many different proteins and other chemicals such as hormones, antibodies, enzymes, glucose, fat particles and salts, and it is pale yellow in color. Next, coming to blood cells. So there are two major types of blood cells in a human body, which include red blood cells and white blood cells. So firstly we will talk about your red blood cells or red blood corpuscles. So red blood corpuscles, red blood cells, they are disc shaped cells that contain a pigment which is called as hemoglobin, and this hemoglobin, this pigment is responsible for binding with oxygen and thus is mainly responsible for transporting the oxygen throughout the human body. And it has been estimated that about 3 million red blood cells of the human body die every day, and at the same time four times that number are made in the bone marrow every day. Fine. So when we donate blood to save the life of an individual, of an person, then the loss of blood from our body can be made very quickly within a day. And this is possible because red blood cells, they are made very fast in our bone marrow. Fine. So you should know that most of the cells in blood are red blood cells. Fine. So next, coming to your white blood cells or white blood corpuscles. So these cells, they have various shapes and play a major role in engulfing foreign particles and harmful microbes. Thus, they help in fighting many diseases. These are what make up the immune system of the person. Fine. So you can say that white blood cells, they fight infection and protect us from different kind of diseases. This is because white blood cells, they help to fight against germs and other foreign bodies which cause diseases. Fine. And white blood cells in the blood, they are much smaller than the number they are much smaller in number than red blood cells. Next, coming to your platelets. So platelets are the main components that are responsible for clotting or coagulation of blood, and in case of any injury or any accident, the blood clots after some time, and this prevents excess loss of blood. Also, clotting of blood is a defense mechanism in the body. Okay, so next part of the human circulatory system is blood vessel. So the next important component of circulatory system is the network of blood vessels, and the blood vessels are of three types. They are arteries, veins, and capillaries. Here in the picture you can see red colored vessels are artery, blue colored vessels are veins, and the tube like structures which join arteries and veins, they are called as capillaries. So let us discuss about these blood vessels one by one. So firstly, let us talk about your arteries. Arteries have thicker walls and are responsible for carrying oxygenated blood from the heart to different organs. Just remember this point, that arteries, they are responsible for carrying oxygenated blood from heart to different organ, but there is an exception, that pulmonary artery is the artery which carry deoxygenated blood from the heart to the lungs. Fine. And coming to veins, so veins are also made of veins are made of thin walls compared to arteries, and they carry out the function of transporting deoxygenated blood from different organs to the heart. And pulmonary vein is an exception because it carries oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. So you have to just remember these exceptional cases, exceptional veins which carry blood from different organs of a body. Next is your capillaries. These are nothing but very fine branches of arteries and veins, and at the same time the capillaries, they join arteries, they connect basically arteries with veins. Next, coming to your next component of human circulatory system, one of the very important organ or very important component of human circulatory system is your human heart. So firstly, we will be discussing about the general structure of the heart, and then we will study about the proper function, the proper the whole process, how the circulation takes place in the in the heart. So heart is a very small, it is a small muscular organ that carries out primary function of pumping the blood to and fro to and from various organs of the body. The human heart has four chambers. They are called as right auricle, right ventricle, left auricle, and left ventricle. Roughly, it is of a triangular shape. Fine. I'll just describe the structure of heart with the help of this diagram. So just listen carefully and just look at the picture carefully. As I told you that the rough structure of human heart is it is triangular in shape. It is made up of a special muscle called as cardiac muscle. It is made up of special muscle called as cardiac muscle, CARDIAC, cardiac muscle, and the size of our heart is about the same as our fist. Fine. And the heart has four compartments which are called as chambers. The upper two chambers of the heart are called as atria. Singularly it is called as atrium, and the lower two chambers, they are called as ventricle. Fine. And the two atria, they receive blood from the two main veins. Here in this picture you can see two main veins, and the two ventricles transport blood to the entire body. Fine. The left atrium, you can see here in the picture, left atrium is connected to the left ventricle. Left atrium is connected to left ventricle through a valve V1. It is denoted with V1. Just look at the picture carefully. And similarly, right atrium is connected to the right ventricle through another valve called as V2. It is denoted with V2. Fine. And these valves prevent the prevents the backflow of blood into atria when the ventricles contract to pump blood out of the heart to the rest of the body. Fine. Now the job of the heart. What is the job of the heart? The job of the heart is to pump blood around our body. So all the artery and ventricles of the heart contract and relax at appropriate time and make the heart behave like a pump. Fine. And the covering of a tissue, you can see here, the covering of the tissue is called as pericardium. It is a protective layer basically, which is called as pericardium, which protects the muscular heart. Fine. And the chambers, next the chambers of the heart, they are separated. They are the left chamber and the right chamber. They are separated by a partition called as septum. You can see the center partition, and this partition is called as septum. Fine. Next is the main artery. Here you can see here the main artery at the top. The main artery, it is also called as aorta. It is connected to the left ventricle of the heart through a valve V3. And the main artery, it carries oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to all the parts of the body except lungs. Means lungs को छोड़ के it transport the oxygenated blood throughout the different parts of the body. So there is another artery which is called as pulmonary artery, which is connected to the right ventricle of the heart through another valve which is denoted with V4. Fine. And the pulmonary artery, it carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs. So just remember this, the left ventricle, left atrium, it is carrying your oxygenated blood, whereas right side carries deoxygenated blood. Fine. So before now, this is all about the structure of a human heart. Now before going to describe the circulation of blood in a human body, let us just keep two main points in our mind. Firstly, that the blood circulates in our body in two forms. Just remember it. First is oxygenated blood and second is deoxygenated blood. So what is the oxygenated blood? Oxygenated blood is that blood which carries oxygen in it. Okay, so oxygen rich blood is called as oxygenated blood, and deoxygenated blood is the oxygen which has no oxygen, or which is carbon dioxide rich blood. It is called as deoxygenated blood. Fine. So now I am going to discuss with you this proper circulation of blood throughout the heart. Fine. So when the muscles of all the four chambers of the heart are relaxed, when the muscles of all the four chambers of the heart are relaxed, the pulmonary vein, here you can see in the picture, the pulmonary vein, it is shown with the help of arrows, that how a blood enters in the heart, or how it exits from the heart. So when the muscles of all the four chambers of the heart, they are relaxed, the pulmonary vein brings the oxygenated blood, that is oxygen rich blood, from the lungs into the into the left atrium of the heart. Fine. This is the first step, that how it enters to the blood, oxygenated blood enters to the left atrium. It enters inside the left atrium through pulmonary vein. Fine. Second point is, when the left atrium contracts, the oxygenated blood is pushed into the left ventricle through the valve V1. Fine. Third point is, when the left ventricle contract, okay, so when the left ventricle contract, the oxygenated blood is forced into the main artery called as aorta. Here you can see at the top, and this main artery then branches into different arteries which go into different body organs. Fine. Next point is, the main artery carries blood to all the organs, to all the body parts of the all the organs, all the parts of the body, like head, chest, arms, stomach, liver, kidney, etc., except lungs. When the oxygenated blood passes through the capillaries of the blood of the body organs, then it gives oxygen to the body cells. Since the blood loses oxygen here, we can say that blood has been deoxygenated here, and the blood also gives the digested food and other dissolved material to the body cells. And the deoxygenated blood, which is carbon dioxide rich from the body organs, enters into the main vein, and this main vein carries the deoxygenated blood to the right atrium of the heart. Fine. Next point is, what happens when the right atrium contracts, the deoxygenated blood is pushed into the right ventricle through the valve V2. Fine. And when the right ventricle contracts, the deoxygenated blood is pumped into the lungs through the pulmonary artery. You can see here in the picture. Fine. It is shown with the help of arrows. and in the lungs, deoxygenated blood then releases its carbon dioxide and absorbs fresh oxygen from the air. So the blood become oxygenated again, and this oxygenated blood is again sent to the left atrium of the heart by pulmonary vein for the circulation in the body. So this is how whole process is repeated continuously, and in this way the blood keeps on circulating in our body without stopping, due to which all the body parts keep on getting oxygen, digested food and other materials all the time. Fine. So this is about your transportation in humans. Fine. So now you have to just read your textbooks, or you can read your refreshers carefully, thoroughly, to understand the topics carefully.